Several big stories happening. Our 2 News crews are out covering what is happening all over the state for us this afternoon, from school walkouts to inside the decision room as the State Board of Education voted on the future of the largest school district in our state. First, we're heading to Oklahoma City, where our Shay Smith is live from outside that decision room. Shay, what's the latest?
Justin, that's right. Now, the State Board of Education voted about an hour ago, allowing Tulsa Public Schools to keep its accreditation status with deficiencies. Now, before the vote started, Tulsa Public Schools board members went before the State Board and Superintendent Ryan Walters and basically pled their case as to why they should keep their accreditation. They also answered questions from the State Board along from Superintendent Ryan Walters. Now, again, the board eventually voting to allow TPS to keep the accreditation status with deficiencies. I did speak to Mayor G.T. Bynum and TPS Board of Education President Stacy Woolley after the vote. Here is what they both have to say.
My main reaction is great relief, both that TPS is accredited for the year ahead, but also to see the conversation that occurred today between the State Board of Education and our local board leadership. I've felt for weeks now that there's a lot more alignment than people realize between those two groups. They both have high expectations. They both want to work together. They just hadn't had a mechanism by which they could communicate and have that kind of conversation that they had today.
I think the headline is going to be misleading in that we were accredited with deficiencies when the reality of the situation feels as though we are losing local control and that we will be back here checking in every single month. And it doesn't feel as though it's even a year-long accreditation when it requires a month-to-month come back and bring all these, demands to us.
Now, before the board voted to keep TPS's accreditation status, they did approve 2 propositions. The first requiring any foreign dollar, whether it's spent directly or indirectly, to be reported to the state, and asked legislators to look into that. The second thing they approved asking districts to report their pronoun policies to the State Board of Education so the State Board can decide if they are appropriate. But possibly the biggest story and vote coming out of the Department of Education building today is the State Board of Education voting to allow Tulsa Public Schools to keep their accreditation status with deficiencies. So that means there will not be a state takeover. However, with the deficiencies, that means that there are certain stipulations. So it will address reading, the district's failing schools, and ways to prevent embezzlement. Now, something I did ask TPS board of Education president, the month-to-month check-in or the every 2-month check-ins, I asked her how plausible is that for a district to improve in just a month, and how much pressure does that put on students and teachers to make sure the students improve in just a month, and how are they going to measure those improvements? I will have what she says to that tonight at 5 and 6. 2 News Oklahoma Aaron Christie is inside the board meeting still, and she will also have updates tonight at 5 and 6. Live in Oklahoma City, Shay Smith, 2 News Oklahoma.
All right, Shay, thank you very much. Parents and students alike making their voices heard ahead of the vote that took place in Oklahoma City. 2 News Oklahoma's Samson Tamajani has more from East Central High School, where multiple demonstrations called out the State Board of Education in defense of TPS.
The main organized rally this morning was at 8 a.m. with a couple dozen parents and allies of the Tulsa Classroom Teachers Association. And then, as we saw at 9 a.m., some student organizers took matters into their own hands. They tell us that they planned, after just one day, a student-led walkout. About 500 students, in fact, walking out of school in order to organize right at the football bleachers of the football stadium in front of us. And for about 25 minutes, several hundred students braving the heat, joining in chants that organizers say is about protecting TPS and standing up to the attacks that State Superintendent Ryan Walters has lodged against teachers, the teachers union here in Tulsa, and now the outgoing TPS Superintendent Deborah Gist. And many signs echoing that message as well. Signs saying protect TPS, hands off TPS, no to state takeover. And here's what one student said inspired her to help put this all together.
I feel like that's the best thing we can do as students. We're not adults, so we can't do much. We don't have that much power. But I really believe if we stick together and stand up for ourselves, that it can go well.
We're also told by the parents and students who are protesting outside today that they above all want the Tulsa Public School Board and the State Board of Education to recognize what students want out of this and that they trust in their educators. We'll have a lot more coverage from today coming up at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. In Tulsa, Samson Tamajani, 2 News, Oklahoma.
All right, Samson, thank you very much. And while the meeting was getting underway in Oklahoma City, as he mentioned, many gathering TPS parents, students, as well, showing support for the district. This morning, a big crowd making a passionate statement.
Save our schools! Save our schools! Save our schools! Save our rock! Tulsa schools! Rock!
And 2 News Oklahoma's Amanda Slee is at Booker T. Washington now, and the crowd's clearing out. But tell us more about what you saw, Amanda.
Justin, yeah, like you said, the crowd's gone now. These are empty bleachers, but just early this morning, around 9 o'clock, students at Booker T. Washington High School walked out, came to these bleachers, filled the stands to make their voices heard. And over in East Tulsa at Hale High School, a group of parents, teachers, staff, even concerned citizens cheered on students as they showed up for their school day. It was about a group of 20 people or 25 people, and they chanted "Save our schools, let's go Rangers," and "Tulsa schools and students rock." Many of them holding signs saying "I support TPS" and we love our students. Attendees I spoke to say that they they want this to support and lift up those students amid the chaos that's been going on the last few weeks. We spoke to one parent who showed up to drop off her students, and this is what she had to say about that show of support.
I think it's important for the kids and just for them to be able to get through school. I just want the schools to be good for the kids, and I just want it to get back to what it was.
Jill Peters, a Tulsan who was a part of that rally, she says that she hopes the kids realize that these adults care about them and they'll continue to show their support. In Tulsa, Amanda Slee, 2 News Oklahoma.